we will use them with loops, operators, and statements. Okay, so we'll go ahead with operators now. So operators in C#. Control B, that's bold. So operators in C#. Why do we need operators in any programming language? I have taught you the operators in C programming, in Java, right?
Yeah.
JavaScript. Everywhere I have taught you the operators, okay? So we are basically going to perform operations on variables and values using operators. So simply we can say operators are or can be used to perform operations on variables and values, simply. So we have different types of operators. We have arithmetic operators, right? We have assignment operators, we have comparison operators, we have logical operators. So these are the operators that we do have. So one by one, we are going to go through all of them, and we'll check and we will learn how we can use them by using variables and data types. Okay, so operators. So simply the definition of operators is operators are useful or used to perform operations on variables and values. Like I say, a very basic example, like for example, how do we use a very simple operator of addition? Like for example, we'll say, we'll take a data type int, we'll say that it's a, and we'll put it equal to 100 plus or minus, or multiplication, or you can say star, or division, like divide. So 100 plus 50, that's an arithmetic operator addition. Okay, this is how do we define them. Or we can simply take one variable, which is integer x is equal to 10, another variable integer y is equal to 20, and we'll say another variable which is called sum. So integer sum is equal to x plus y, or we can say integer sum is equal to, or any other sum 2 or sum 1 is equal to x minus y. All right, we can say integer sum 3 is equal to x multiplied by y. Not, you can say x multiplied by y, and then integer sum 3 x divided by y. These are all the arithmetic operations that I have applied. I have defined two variables. First of all, this is a general, very simple way which we hardly use. This is a way how do we use data types and variables and store values in them and add the values of those variables. So integer x is equal to 10. So that means 10 is stored in x and 20 is stored in y. If you have to add them, we'll say integer will take another variable, sum is equal to x plus y. Then if you have to do the division or subtraction in these variables, the values of these variables, we'll take another variable, integer sum 1 is equal to x minus y, then sum 3, or you can say sum 2 here, not sum 2 and sum 3. It's already 3. So then x multiplied by y and x divided by y, right?
Yeah.
So we are basically using the plus operator to add two values. We use minus operator to subtract two values, and we also use multiplication operator to multiply two values, or 3 or 4, or even divide. We divide two particular values which are stored in two different variables. correct?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take an example of arithmetic operators. Wait a sec. It's a general example, operators, then we'll one by one go through each and every operator. So operator, suppose that I have one particular example, integer sum or integer x is equal to, this is general way, x is equal to 100 plus 200. Then what I will do is integer, I will say sum is equal to x plus, I will add 300 more to it. I will say integer sum2 is equal to, I will say sum plus x. That's it. And then if you have to write them on console, how you're going to do it.
How you what's this? Output on
Console
console.
dot
Console dot
write
line.
line, and then
Variable
basically
names.
variable name x. All right, just copy it, come down, paste it 3 times. Sorry, what's happening? Oh, Control V, and here next variable is sum, and third is sum2. That's it. Save it and run it. You will get the values here. So in first, it's x is equal to 100 plus 200, that is 300. Then it's x, that's x is 300 now, plus 300, which is 600. Then sum plus x, that's 300 plus 6, so that's 6 plus 300 is equal to 900. That's a very simple example of plus operator, okay?
Okay.
Which you know, and you do not have to practice for it. Now, types of operators. First one is arithmetic operator. So what are arithmetic operators? So arithmetic operations are, arithmetic operators are basically used to perform some common mathematical operations. So what are operators? We have first of all plus, which is also called as addition, right? It adds
Subtraction.
2 values. Okay, so then next is subtraction. What is happening? Wait. Subtraction. All right, it's gonna subtract one value from another. Then why it's showing star. Shortcut basically. So then there is multiplication, 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 li, and we basically use star for that. Then there is division, and we basically use / for that. And then there is mod. Where is mod? Where is mod here? Mod, it's modulus. So we can simply say modulus. And the symbol for it is percentage. Then increment operators, which I have taught you. So you are familiar with all these things. And then again, it's decrement operator. Decrement, which is minus. So that's minus, which is going to decrease the value of a variable by 1 if you make it as For example, you define the variable x, x plus plus will increase 1, x minus minus will decrease it with 1, right? So if you
Yeah.
have to write a program using all these variables, how do you do that, and how do you write that? Very simple it is. The first one is already here, sorry, right? So we have used plus operator, then minus, you can simply say sum2 is equal to sum minus x. So if you go with it, for example, I'm going to expand the same program. I will again write it here. So console.writeLine, but now here I'm going to define one more variable, sum3, not sum. Now I will simply say subtract equals to sum2 minus sum. Okay, that's it. And then here console.writeLine, I'm gonna make use of subtract. Got it? Correct? Then I'm gonna define another variable, which is multiplication. I'll say multiply, and I will say is it equal to, for example, okay, I have to multiply x multiplied by sum. That's it, and I'll use console.writeLine, then the multiplication variable, which is multiply. Then again, then if you want integer division, so I will say div equals to sum2 divided by sum. That's it. Then I'll use console.writeLine, then it's div. Correct?
Yeah.
Am I correct? Yep. So then mod. How do you do mod? So for example,
Percentage sign.
have, yeah, so we can say, I'll define, or simply if you want to do, there is another way, okay? So console, this is another way. So you can simply say dot writeLine, and if you want to do the mod, we can say we have x and use percentage sign. We can use sum mod of it, okay? Then we have, what other thing we have? Mod and then increment and decrement, right? So we can say, if we define another variable here, integer y is equal to 5, okay, then we can say y plus plus, or even we can simply write it in the console. Various ways are there, so we can say y here. And if it's decrement, so we can say console, let's say another variable here, x, z equals to 10, and semicolon, we'll say z minus minus, which is decrement operator. And then I will use console.writeLine, and it is z here. So almost we have wrote the code for every arithmetic assignment, right? Every arithmetic operator. This is for addition, this is for subtraction, this is for multiplication, this is for division, this is for mod, and this is for increment, and this is for decrement, right? And I am gonna run it by typing or by just pressing F5 key. I will get, wait a sec, let me close it. You can see here. I will get the value of each and everything. First, for this one, it's 300, 600, and 900 for these three statements. Then 18,000 for multiplication x, which is 300 multiplied by sum, which is 3 plus 4, that's 600. So multiplied by 600, it's 18,000. 1,80,000 now. Okay, then divide sum 2 by sum, it's 1. Then no, yeah, sum. Then after that, mod, it has 6 or 300, something like that. And then increment, it's 5 here. When you increment by 1, it's how much? 6. And when you have z and you decrement it by 1, that is 9. Correct? So this is
Yeah.
how do we go through the arithmetic operators? So that's about arithmetic operators. Second is the assignment operator. So what do you mean by assignment operator? Assignment operator is like your equal sign. When you assign a variable or a value to a variable using the equal sign, this is an assignment operator. Okay, or I will be going fast with this because I have already taught you these things, that they are very simple. So that's one particular assignment operator. Next is you can modify it somehow. For example, we are defining one variable which is c, and we are putting it equal to 10. Okay, then what you can do is you can say c, if you have to add values in it, one is plus plus. Okay, but there is another way. We can say plus equal to, if you remember in C programming, I told you c plus equal to, you want to add 20 to it. That's it, c plus equal to 20. All right, and then we can say console dot write line, and then we can say C. Or as I've told you, you can add the double quotes, the value of C after assignment operator is. Save it, and then F5. Make sure that you could close it, just close it. And then F5. There's an error.
Semicolon, sir. Semicolon.
Semicolon, yeah. So save it again and run it. What happened now? Here we go. You can see the value of C after assignment operator is already it's 10, and when you add 20 to it, it will become. This is another way of adding the numbers, or adding more numbers to a variable, to a value which is stored in a variable. Okay. Plus equal to, or if you want minus equal, you can use minus. That means you're decreasing. Okay. So there are a lot of assignment operators that we do have. We can use around 10 assignment operators, like greater than, less than, equal to, less than, or. So next thing is like assignment. This is all your work that you have to do at home. Assignment operators. I'm going through the basic things. I mean, just I'm letting you know what are the assignment operators. So equal sign, starting with the equal sign, it's an assignment operator. Plus equal to, it's another assign. Minus equal to, all right. Then star, multiply by any particular number to a variable. Then divide by equal to, which is again an assignment operator. A mod of equal to, then and equal to, or you can say this, what do you call it, exclamation, and then you can say greater than, equal to, and then
Less than equal to.
less than, equal to. So these are all the assignment operators that we can use. All right, so this is your work which you have to do. This is your homework. Try to write one particular code or statement based on each of these assignment operators. Okay, they're very simple. Do it at home. Then comparison operators. Comparison, sorry, operators. Always doing mistakes while typing. It's, I don't know, what is it? My bad. Okay, so why are we using compare or comparison operators? They're used to compare two values simply, okay? So comparison is just when you compare two things or anything that you want to compare. So we're using comparison operators to compare two values. So what are those compare operators? Equal equals, which is exactly equal to, not equal to. We use it in if-else statements or most of the time when we have to work with the conditions less than, all right, greater than, equal to, and less than, equal to. So these are comparison operators, right?
Yeah.
And they are based on true or false. So they will always return what? True or false.
False.
Okay. So if you wanted to write a very simple, code based on this equals to comparison operator, so simply we can say integer, we can say m is equal to, for example, 18, and then integer y is equal to, you can say 19, and then we can say console dot write line, we can say in it, it's m equals to, sorry, not triple, it's m equals to y, semicolon. Why it's an error? It's y, right? Have I defined y? Yeah, I have defined y already. So m and n. And then when you already, it's open, just close it for now. Run it, you will get a false value, because if you check the values in the variables m and n, 18 and 19, it's not true. That means it's gonna give you the false value, okay? But if you make it as 19 here, save it and run it again, you will get now it's true, because in both the variables, we have 19 and 19, okay? That's one particular example of, you can say equal. If it's not equal, we can say not equal to. All right, so for example, 1919 is there. We'll run it out. False, okay? Even if we change the value 89, it will show you true, okay? It should not be equal to, that's why it was, that's why it shows you true, false. Now it's true because there is not the value. So these are the things you're going to do them at home. Now after that, greater than, less than, greater or equal to, or less or equal to. You will do these things on your free time at home, okay? Are you there?
Yeah.
Great. So operators, assignment operators, I'm done with arithmetic operators and comparison operators. And what else?
Conditional, the and or sign.
Yeah, now we have logical. These are called as logical operators. So logical operators. Operators. So they are used to, wait a sec. So logical operators are used to determine the logic, L-O-G-I-C, between variables or values. Oh my bad, I am having my tea in the left hand side, I'm not taking it. Okay, so we have logical AND, we have logical OR, this is the symbol, and we have logical NOT, this is the symbol. So that's logical AND operator. This is logical OR operator. This is logical NOT operator. So logical AND is going to return true if both the statements are true. Then only it will return the true statement. So what do you mean by it? What's the example? You can say when x is less than 5 and x is less than 10. That can be the example. You can better understand it. So then OR is if you have one condition in both of the conditions true. In between the two conditions, if you have a single condition true, that means it will give you a true value. NOT is reverse. You just need to reverse the result. It returns false if the result is true. It returns true if the result is false. Okay, so that's NOT operator. So Control Z. This is the example. Now I am going to write the codes for all the three logical operators for you, because maybe you might have forgot the things. Let me first of all comment the entire code of arithmetic operators. So integer x is equal to 16, and then when you talk about console dot write line and you say x is greater than 3 and x is less than 20. You can see both the conditions are true, right? So the value in x is 16, and if you check the condition x is greater than 3, yes, the value in x is greater than 3, and x is also less than 20 because it's less than 20. When you save it and run it, it should give you the value as true. That's how do we use this logical operators. Okay, clear? Now in the same way, I will apply another particular operator, which is OR. So I'll say x is greater than 20. And x is less than 20. Save it and run it. You will see true because if you check, I told you that OR operator is going to tell you if in two conditions, one condition is true, it will give you the value as true. You can see first condition is false, but second condition is true, x is less than 20. Yeah, so that means it's going to give you true value. But when you make is x is less than 15 and then save it and run it again, you will see it's false now because both the conditions are false and it gave you false. Okay, that's what OR is. And then after that, NOT. We can say, wait, console.write line NOT, in the bracket will say x greater than 3 and x less than 20. That's it. Save it and run it. It's going to give you false. Not x greater than 3. X is not greater than, and both the conditions are true, then it's applied to not. You will get a false result. Okay. So that's how do we use these logical tree operators, or you can say, how can we write a code based on these three logical operators, okay? So these are just the basics. We are just in the basics of C#. When I will go to switches, I will go to loops. Over there, we will make use of these, okay? But right now, you just need to understand what is the basic meaning, or why do we use them, and what it's gonna give you as an output, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the operators that I have taught you. For today, it's enough. In the next class, we will go through the math functions, and then strings, and then booleans, and then we'll move to some advanced things: if else statements, switch, while loop, for loop, break, or continue statement, then arrays, and then methods. So far we are just in the first loophole where we have to learn all the basics, and then after we complete up to the arrays, then we'll start with the methods, okay? I hope you understood the lecture. You have no questions for today. If you do have, you can tell me. Any questions for today?
Nope. All
All
good.
right,
All is
so
clear.
all is clear. All right, so see you in the next class on Wednesday. No, there is an exam on Wednesday, so inform all of the students. You need to write the exam, and it will be very tough. Nobody will be helping you there, so you have to pass it yourself, okay? Good luck. I will see you on Wednesday at 4. So you will be having 2 exams. Prepare yourself from 4 to 5-1, from 5 to 6 another. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. See you. Bye-bye. Good luck and bye-bye. Take care. Have a very great day ahead.